Camp Randall Stadium, home of the 43rd annual WIAA Football State Championships. We've reached the finale of day one, the conclusion of 4 games on this first day of action here at Camp Randall, getting ready for the Division IV state title game between the St. Croix Central Panthers and the Racine St. Catherine's Angels. Both of these teams coming in undefeated on the season. They're playing for the opportunity to take home the gold ball here tonight. Sophia Minert joined now by Bill Brophy. And Brof, it's been a great day of football so far. This is the nightcap of day one. We've already handed out 3 trophies, 3 gold balls to 3 very deserving teams. Let's take a look at the recap of how we got here to this nightcap and a look at some of the earlier action. We started with Division 7, the Blackhawk Warriors winning that one 22-15 over Edgar. Then it was Iola Scandinavia in Division 6, 43-14 over Racine Lutheran, also here for the first time, and the St. Mary Springs Ledgers came all the way back from 14-0 to win the Division 5 title 20-17 over Stratford. It's been a great first day of action.
Well, a bit of a surprise in the opener. Blackhawk surprised Edgar, was looking for their 8th championship overall. Colby Argo with a big day for Blackhawk. And then Bryce Hittner is the career rushing leader in the state of Wisconsin. He showed why he is so good. Tough, hard-nosed kid, ran for over 150 yards. Iola Scandinavia won their first ever state title in Division 6. St. Mary's ho-hum, they win another title. 8th time ever for the Ledgers. They come from behind to beat a plucky Stratford team. Bob Highland, who goes on forever, wins yet another title, his 15th overall, and it sets the stage for this one, which should be an exciting finale to the first day.
Well, and as you said, Division 5 presented a really intriguing matchup, 2 historic programs in both Stratford and St. Mary Springs. But, Brof, this one's a little bit more interesting because Racine St. Catherine's, they're here for their first ever state appearance. But then you look at St. Croix Central, and they're here for the 3rd straight year. They were runners-up a year ago. What does that experience mean for the matchup here tonight?
Well, they know all the nooks and crannies here at Camp Randall. It's the 7th straight year, 8th straight year, actually, the Middle Border Conference has had a representative in this title game. For the last 3 years, it's been St. Croix Central, and we've learned they like to run the ball some more. They play an option. They've only thrown 8 passes the last 2 years in the state title game. But in Larson, they've got a heck of a running back, and they'll try to keep the ball away from Racine St. Catherine's, who's here for the first time. They've got a dynamic player in Deshaun Brown. They'll want to keep him off the field with their ball control game.
Well, and for more on the Angels All-State quarterback Deshaun Brown, we go up to our game announcers, Bob Brainerd and Ryan Kleppe.
Thank you, Soph and Brof. Ryan, what a story Deshaun Brown is. I mean, here's a kid playing football in Racine growing up. He goes to Racine Case, almost quits football after his freshman year, transfers to St. Catherine's, and the rest is history, as they say.
Yeah, one of the truest dual threats that we have in the state of Wisconsin. Has over 1,000 yards passing, over 1,400 yards on the ground, 45 total touchdowns. Again, Coach Miller said he has tremendous football IQ, can get out of the pocket and make plays with his feet. That St. Croix Central defense is going to have their hands full containing him tonight.
The explosion of number 4. You will see him on display here in the turf tonight. And Ryan Larson of St. Croix Central. Been there, done that over and over again.
He is the hammer, man-possessed. He is a 3-year starter, one of the best that Coach DeSalvo said he's ever had at St. Croix Central. He's an all-region running back, over 1,400 yards, 32 touchdowns, and again, the heart and soul of their D, all-state at linebacker. He's going to need to bring out the best in everyone on his teammates like he's done all year to be able to bring St. Croix Central another gold ball.
Panthers were runners-up a year ago. St. Catherine's first ever trip. Something's got to give in Division 4.
To be introduced as a team tonight. So Racine St. Catherine, here are your Angels. And here's the rundown of the Angels starters that will be playing for the Angels this season. Nose guard will be number 53, Adrian Garcia. defensive tackle, number 70, Tim Cartwright. At linebacker, number 11, Anthony Cable. At linebacker, number 15, Andre Hale. At linebacker, number 9, Brian Sharp. At linebacker, number 32, DJ Carter. At cornerback, number 21, Luke Black. At quarterback, number 2, Keenan Carter. At safety, number 6, Jaron Hutcherson. And at safety, number 4, Deshaun Brown. And the head coach of the Angels is Dan Miller.
Time for the nightcap of state football championships here in Madison. Division 4 title up for grabs. Down to the field we go with Piper Shaw.
Thanks, guys. I just caught up with both head coaches, and they are both so excited to be on the field tonight. They've got big smiles on their faces. Now, Dan Miller over with Racine St. Catherine's, he says that he just wants to see his guys play loose, play fast, play big, play with the kind of swagger that they've really played with the entire season. And he says that they play big in these big games, so he's pretty hopeful. Down on the other end of the field over at St. Croix Central, head coach Tony DeSalvo, he says that a great offense is really going to be their best defense here tonight. So he is hoping that they can make some big plays, but like he was saying before, that he is just really excited to be here with his team, and he hopes that they're excited too. So it should be a pretty fun matchup here tonight. And I'll send it back to you guys up in the booth so we can get kickoff started.
Yeah, we're excited too, Piper. Adrian Garcia to boot for the Angels. Kopaz and Houlihan are deep for the Panthers. And we are underway. Bobble at the 10-yard line, but picked up by Hunter Houlihan. And Houlihan wrapped up and brought down by Brian Sharp. Panthers will take over. They're in the blue, black, and white. Angels with the home whites, with the black pants and the gold helmets.
The entire game of the D5 title with about 2 flags, and we get one right out of the gate.
Jack Albertson, our official, and Austin Kopatz, when he takes the snap, the quarterback. Both talked about the fact that this team loves to run the football. They don't throw it a whole lot. They don't have to, because in this triple option offense, well, it is machine-like.
It's impressive to watch, and again, it stretches a defense having to take care of all 3 phases of this, like we saw last year. Gave Lodi some issues in this title game, and they just grind on you 2, 3, 4 yards a pop. And then once this third quarter, fourth quarter gets there, those 2, 3 yards turn into 8, 9, 10-yard gains.
There's the crew from the Madison area. So a hold on the kickoff by the kicking team. Unusual, but St. Croix Central takes it at the 36. And Larson gets free into the secondary. That's where he's trouble. Up and over midfield into the Angels secondary. 1st and 10, St. Croix Central. And we talked about him in the open. Ryan Larson, 3-year starter. He pounds the football, and he pounds people on the way.
Looked like a little outside veer, a little wider path, like C-gap almost. Block down, forces your defender that's playing QB to squeeze down to play dive. You got to rotate over to play QB. Nobody there for Larson.
Larson again off the right side this time. Careens to the 43-yard line. Take a look at the offensive starters for this impressive St. Croix Central offense. Kopaz, explosive player. Knows the offense, knows how to execute it. You have to if you're going to play QB for the Panthers. Larson, Berg, who didn't play in the title game a year ago. He was injured. He's chomping at the bit to see action tonight. Kopaz, fumble. Angels say they have it, and they do. 48-yard line, St. Catherine's will take over on the turnover.
Wow, just when you thought St. Croix was just controlling the game, getting yards at will, one mishap on the exchange to get the pitch out by Kopaz, and the Angels have life.
Andre Hale comes up with the football, and you see the pop. DJ Carter is the guy who popped it and dislodged it, and then Hale comes up with it.
Yeah, it wasn't that anybody bumped him. Maybe it was just a cloudy read that Kopaz had, lost control of it. Johnny on the spot, the Angels are in business.
And Deshaun Brown at quarterback, hands it off to Isaiah Dodd. And we talked about Brown, and rightfully so, but Isaiah Dodd, Ryan, this kid, he has some meaty numbers as well.
Yeah, he's over 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns. They ran a little, I call that a GY scheme. You're pulling guard, and then that slot or that tight end, almost a little counter scheme just to get extra blockers at the point of attack. Great job. He's only 5'6", 150, so he can wiggle through there, and did that for a nice 5-yard gain.
You saw the numbers for Brown through the air. Give it to Dodd again. Slips his way to the 40-yard line. So this is a true 1-2 punch that if you key on 3 or 4, well, the other one will hurt you.
Looks like they have DJ Carter back there. They called it ultra back, so he's going to line up a lot of the time in the backfield, maybe at like a sniffer or a H-back or a fullback. He had a devastating block there, pancaking whoever was on the edge. He stands 5'11", 250. I'm not sure I'd want to step in front of a lead block by him either.
3rd and 1 for Brown in the shotgun. Give it to Dodd. Zigzags right up the middle. First down, Angels at the 35-yard line. Offensive starters for Racine St. Catharines. They run out of the pistol. They give you multiple formation looks. You see the guys up front. 4-year starter is Carthron. And he's the bell cow of that group. And then Dodd, Carter does a lot of the dirty work, the blocking for Dodd. Poole's a dangerous receiver on the edge. 1st and 10, Angels at the 35. Brown flushed, and look out. Out of bounds at the 18-yard line. And while Racine St. Catharines may not have seen an offense like St. Croix Central before, I can turn it around and say the Panthers probably haven't seen a kid like this.
Yeah, it looks like they ran kind of a little slant arrow scheme, trying to get a slant and an arrow to rub off some people there. Larson looked like he was trying to spy, but just the speed that Deshaun Brown shows in space. He's an 11-second 100-meter dash guy. He is explosive, and you do not want to let him out in the pocket.
1st and 10 at the 18. Give it to Dodd. Look at the bounce. But he can't bounce out of the grasp of Garrett Henriksen. 6'2", 220 senior in hot pursuit.
Great job keeping the edge, not letting it bounce. Long arms to bring down Dodd there.
Here's the defense. And there you see Garrett working that edge, spying on Dodd. See a lot of the same names like Larson, Berg, who flip-flop offense and defense.
That Hinsman in the middle, a 14-year-old freshman, 6'4", 260. Beast, wow.
Still growing.
Yeah, that is something.
2nd and 16. Brown, plenty of time in the pocket. Incomplete, though. Tried to go over the middle and hit Alex Hauser. Hoiser, I beg your pardon. Hoiser's more of the tight end. They give him that UB label, that ultra back label, because it's kind of a hybrid. They ask those UBs to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, that was a little they had. It looked like TJ Rouser, outside receiver, ran up post to clear, get the safeties attention, and then Hoiser ran just a little 8 and out, and Brown couldn't put it on him there. Big 3rd down and long here.
Trying to capitalize on the fumble at midfield. Brown again. Nothing available downfield. Now flushed.
Wow.
He'll get something, but not much. A lot of running to pick up a yard, and it brings up 4th down.
And there's Larson right there, spying the QB, taking great leverage. Ends up no gain on the play. Made Brown run around for essentially nothing. Great job coverage downfield. Trying to keep him in the pocket. Henriksen could, but lived to play another down, and a big 4th down play here.
And no field goal try here. DJ Carter is their kicker, but they'll try to pick it up. They need the 8-yard line. Brown over the middle and too high. Again, trying to hook up with Hoiser. Can't do it. Panthers survive the turnover, get the football back. No score. Early going here in the Division IV state championship.
we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
1, 2, 3. Now I'm back on. Okay.
Attendance at interscholastic activities is privileged with the expectation to
Okay.
positive and
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I do resumes.
Also, sportsmanship doesn't stop when the game ends. It's part of the community you live in. Respect character, dignity, and lead by example. We are a proud sponsor of WIAA Rural Mutual Insurance Sportsmanship Award since it started.
No score early going. First quarter of this Division IV state championship between the Panthers and the Angels. Little resume time for you to give you behind the scenes. Racine St. Catharines, not pictured here, but that's the Panthers. But they, of course, are in Racine. It's their first ever trip to the state tournament. Here's St. Croix to match Tony DeSalvo. They reside in, that's a combo school, actually, Hammond and Roberts, which are 8 miles apart. They consolidated in 1961 and moved to the Middle Border Conference 4 years ago from Dunn St. Croix. There is Dan Miller and his group from the Angels. Not a big roster, but these guys, this has been a special group that has grown up playing football together since their youth days in Racine. 1st and 10 at the 24.
It's like a little unbalanced formation there.
It was Larson who folds over the big bodies in front for a gain of 2.
Yeah, Racine St. Kate's has typically been a basketball power. And so, again, football, typically the numbers haven't been as big there, but in the reshuffling of some of the leagues, they've been able to surface and get into the Division IV playoffs and have fared really well the last couple of years.
And a lot of basketball players on this Angels squad playing football. They'll flip it over to practice beginning on Monday as Keegan Berg gets the carry. Son of offensive coordinator Ryan Berg, who's calling the plays. We mentioned Ryan injured his ankle last year. He was here, but on the sidelines, and it was just killing him.
That's got to gut you. Yeah, when your buddies have been here, he was probably still part of the program back when they won it in 16 against River Valley. To now finish your career on the turf of Camp Randall doesn't get any better than that.
3rd down. Little counter going against it. Mike Steinmetz, and he is met en masse by the Angels. All kinds of white jerseys were in hot pursuit, including Keenan Carter.
Yeah, it was a great job. Just a little counter GT. Looks like you're pulling your backside guard and tackle. A little spin action in the backfield to try and get your eyes tricked. Great job by St. Cat's to be able to stay disciplined on the edge, not go with the counter, and forcing the Panthers to punt.
Derek Meyer is the punter. Isaiah Dodd is the dangerous deep man, lone by himself, standing at the 33. This is an all-state kicker, is Meyer. He's got a good leg. Doesn't have to punt a whole lot with this offense, but when he does, look what happens. Good things for St. Croix Central. No return, down at the 26-yard line.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. 46.6-yard average on the year. It's unreal.
Finalist, in fact, for the Kevin Stemke Award is Meyer.
It's a huge advantage. I mean, to be able to flip the field in that way, especially when it gets to be this time of the year, that's a huge advantage in the kicking game to be able to have a punter that is as impressive as Meyer is.
So 2nd time the Angels get their mitts on the football. Brown in the shotgun on 1st and 10 at the 27. Give it to Dodd. Boy, the feet, I mean, he is all arms and legs. I mean, everything is moving when he carries the football.
Pulling that backside slot and guard again. Dodd so patient, letting the kickouts happen. Sliding underneath. Was a stud against Lakeside there. 37 rushes, 221, and 3 touchdowns. Everybody was singing his praises after that game.
Yeah, and I think you get someone like him on turf, it really makes a difference.
2nd down and 2. Go back to Dodd.
How about that jump cut?
Slippery comes to mind. He's just slippery.
Berg knows it. Berg knows it right there. His towel might be on the ground still.
Yeah, look over here. Now you see me, now you don't. Let her roll. Kick out, unblocked defender.
Let's just tip your cap.
Yep.
Always churning for extra yards, says Dan Miller. 1st and 10 at the 42. Brown keeps it. Brown's turn. Deshaun Brown into St. Croix Central territory, out of bounds. Flag is down right at the 46 where Brown stepped up.
How about that burst?
No, it was like, you know, the normal human being gets sandwiched there, and he just goes right through.
Just another gear. Impressive.
And a hold
block
on
of the
St.
back.
Cat's. And didn't have to, because Brown did all the damage and did all the dirty work and was heading OB.
And that's going to be the story, being able to try to keep him in the pocket. You had two defenders right there.
A legal block to the back on the offense, 10 yards, remains first down.
Coach Miller said he's honed in his ability to read defenses, talking to the offensive coordinator, understanding the game. He's better outside of the pocket, on the run. Try to really keep him inside the pocket and force him to make some cloudy reads here.
So 1st down and 8 after they march it off after the run and the penalty. Brown will keep it, spin out of one tackle, and then get blasted down at the 48-yard line. Had to respect him, though, with Dodd on his hip. You didn't know, 3 or 4, who's keeping it?
Yeah, I thought he may have wanted to pitch it there quick, but you're giving Dodd not much room on the edge going into the boundary there. St. Croix Central not fooled, had plenty of dudes to the party. They strung that out really well. Nice job on D.
2nd and 4, Angels at the 48. Dodd slicing right through, and now turns on the Jets. Still on his feet, dragged down at the 34-yard line, but major damage done on that run.
You had a slot insert, plus you had the backside slot and guard coming through, 3 guys through. Dodd did a great job being patient. You can see this on the replay. Guard and slot, and the other ultra back Carter through there. Dodd did the rest. Patience, in space, making things happen. Smart play by the receiver there, not to block anybody in the back. Looks like Rashid Poole there. That could have been an unnecessary penalty. He let Dodd do the rest. Angels again in business on the plus side of the 50.
1st and 10 at the 34 of St. Croix Central. No grinder there to the 30-yard line. They give Dodd a breather, and rightfully so. Demarion Cobb got the call there, 5'9" sophomore.
Yeah, he's got over 700 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year, so a nice
change-up back.
It's not too bad.
Well, it's you know, the really good teams, they end up grooming young players. You know, that this time of the year, the sophomores step up and help in the playoff run.
Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Brown will get dragged down.
That Nogel,
Indeed.
who's coming back off of a basketball injury he had over the summer, broke his foot, I think, at basketball, and was a key cog last year on their team that made it back here, and now is just getting back into his groove in the playoffs. Ran that speed option again, not fooled, great job widening with it. That forced defender, turning it back inside. Nogel finished it off.
Peyton just ran stride for stride with Brown, and once he got his opportunity, reach out and pull him down. 3rd and 10 for the Angels. Little play action. Brown over the middle, too high. In and out of the midst of his target. I think that was Poole. It was.
Yeah, Trevor Kopaz there, Austin's younger brother. Looking at being the QB next year, but right on Poole. Contested the ball, was right on his hip. Great job causing another 4th down.
Looks
and the
like
Angels,
they're going for it.
it's that iffy
Yeah, it's in
34-yard
that
line.
iffy range. You know, you don't know how much time they invest on pooch punting, pin them deep punt, but it looks like they're going for it.
Empty.
On 4th and 10 from the 34. Dodd. Brown with Dodd in front.
What a block.
Oh, what a block. And that was all Isaiah Dodd making that play happen, leading the charge for his quarterback.
Yeah, and that's a little read keep. So you pull that backside guard off jet motion. You're reading, do that, those inside backers travel with the jet. You can stick it up inside, as you can see here. Timmy Carthron goes with him.
The jet's going to come across here. They're leaving him unblocked. Normally this would hit up in here.
Great job by Henriksen, though, to try and force that thing wide. It gave a cloudy read for Brown to pull it, but then Dodd just willed his quarterback, took him on his back, got him a first down. Huge.
1st and 10 at the 24. Drive alive for the Angels. Back to Dodd. Little jump step up and over the pile for a gain of 2 to the 22.
They're running a lot of that, pulling that slot and guard. St. Croix maybe getting a feel for it now. Being able to, maybe as your D lineman working across face, linebackers backside hip, being able to play off the cutback.
Right, I agree with you. I think they're starting to get a feel for that a little bit. They've seen it multiple times now, and again, it's hard to replicate the quickness that St. Kate's has. But the D linemen are fitting under it pretty good.
2nd and 8. Dodd bounced off the bodies and kind of got stonewalled there. Gain of 1 to the 21. It'll be 3rd and long.
That's where you're holding that mesh. You're sticking the ball in the gut of Dodd for a long time and really looking at that end man on the line. You could see Brown maybe pull it now. If you watch on this replay, he's holding it. And it looks like Henriksen does a great job of doing his responsibility, squeezing down, staying square, forces him on a give. Look for him to maybe pull that if those D linemen squeeze down really hard.
Right, the DN's giving him a give read by just sitting there.
Yep.
Angels need the 14-yard line to pick up the first down. Brown scans the field to the end zone, too much.
Oh, he had a step on him.
Couldn't connect with A.Z. Stevens. And now it's 4th down, and well, they went for it on 4th and 10. You would imagine 4th and 6, they'll do it again.
Well, you had Hinsman, the big freshman, with his hands up, right in his face, just fingertips away from Stevens, had a step on Mike Steinmetz, who they call 3-year starter at corner, shut down. Stevens was able to get loose and give Brown a window, couldn't connect. Here, we've seen this before, right? Another 4th down for the Angels. See if they can stay alive here.
They might want to go timeout here. The clock's going.
Yeah.
They're going to call timeout.
You saw Deshaun looking through the plexiglass saying, what's the play? So Dan Miller and his QB will huddle up. Big 4th down play coming here, late stages of the first quarter. WIAA State Football Championships on Fox Sports Wisconsin, brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance. Premiums paid here. Stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. Angel strong. No one gets their last names at St. Catherine's on football jerseys. You're all Angel strong.
Pretty cool. Just a mantra that Coach Miller has embraced over the years. Unified group, common goal, good stuff.
4th and 6.
Empty formation.
Let Brown go.
Deshaun with time. Fires. Dropped. And St. Croix Central gets the football back once again. Stevens, the intended target. AZ, 3-year starter, guard on the basketball team. He's dynamic, he's long, he's rangy, but not rangy and long enough.
You got to make that. I mean, that's Brown put it right on him. He had Steinmetz was 2 steps behind. That's a play you got to make in this situation, in this type of game. Man, missed opportunity.
Little unbalance coming out here.
Oh yeah, doesn't look like they're adjusting to it.
Larson, marker goes into the pile.
Flag thrown in there where typically you have holding.
By the way, guys, that last drive by Racine St. Catherine's, 13 plays, 53 yards, over 5.5 minutes, but empty trip when it's all said and done.
Yeah, that's one where maybe it was 1 4th down too many to convert, but you had opportunities. Stevens had another ball that was close to him as well, and maybe down the road we'll look at that as a decisive drive in this game. We'll see.
Shot block on the offense, half the distance, remains first down.
I like Jack on the calls. I mean, nice and clear. Everyone knows in the building exactly what happened.
That's what you'll get with some of these option teams too. You get a combo with the cut, engage with the defender. You can't then cut below the belt. Big time penalty on first down.
So 1st and 19 now. We'll try to get a piece of that back. Out to the 16 it goes. Bodies rolling around. Keegan Berg underneath all of it.
And they're going to do what they do. Coach DeSalvo believes in it. Look at the success. How many years it's been over the last 5 years that they've run it, 57-8 in this scheme. He's going to stay patient, what they've done all year, and keep doing what they're doing. It all takes is one missed assignment to bust one.
They have outscored their opponents this year 345-44, but a dogfight here in the first quarter that'll be scoreless unless this play goes the distance. And it won't, as Kopaz careens his way to the 21-yard line, and that will be the end of the first quarter here in Madison. Mano a mano, Panthers and Angels tangling here for the Division IV State Championship. Second quarter comes your way. We return on Fox Sports Wisconsin. St. Croix Central nothing. Racine St. Catherine's nothing. Second quarter about to commence here in Madison. Got to be a little chilly playing those instruments during the nightcap. We had sunshine all day, which really helped the early games, and of course nothing here but the bright moon that you saw.
You get the sound that brings the juice, get those drums popping, and energy's there.
Kopaz under center on 3rd and 9. Changing the play here. And looking to go airborne. They don't do it a whole lot. But there you go. Success. Down the field they go. And who else? Derek Meyer, the big tight end, who's played at State now the last 3 straight years.
That's a little post wheel concept. They put twins out, hit the post. They had the wheel coming behind with home, the other tight end. They split them both out. I don't know if you can see it here, but the end.
He's going to come from the outside.
Boom, he's going to set a little skinny post. Great ball by Kopaz to put it on the money. 46-yard pass there. Now the Panthers in business on O.
1st and 10 at the 34. Back to the ground, Kopaz on the keeper, and Austin. Good yardage there on 1st down to the 29.
This one you had a misread, but the one thing when the quarterback doesn't read it right, he just follows the fullback. The fullback becomes a bonus blocker. Unbalanced line, created the extra gap.
And I would not want to tackle Larson, so I'm sure he said, lead me the way, baby.
Yep. And again, from the end zone, you'll see these splits. We call performance alignment.
Unbalanced again.
And Marker comes in again, and this might be another chop block.
It's so close. I don't know, maybe it is again, but.
Yeah, we'll try to locate it. I think I can figure out which one it is. You'll be able to see it from the end zone.
Yeah, Tony DeSalvo would like to know too, Coach.
And he has given them an earful from the sideline, so we're having a little consultation.
Is that what you guys call it, a consultation?
Well, yeah. We try to help them out as best we can from the sidelines, and
if we come out closer to the field, we just want to clarify and make sure they can hear us.
He's going to wave it off.
Yeah.
There is no flag on that play.
Well, there was, but they're going to pick it up.
He may have given them a lot of help on that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Coach? That was that unbalanced line. You had four men to the left side of the center.
See, it's down here. This lineman down there was cut blocking.
But he almost looked like Kopaz, maybe looked like the other guy comboing.
Yeah.
So it was cloudy, but got to be sure on those flags.
Yeah, nothing to see here. Boy, this is a mess.
Yeah, this is a midline option where they tried to bring it straight up the pipe.
But I'm guessing with the unbalanced alignment, 4 guys, you're expecting Racine St. Cat's to align numbers-wise that side of the center, and then you can sneak one up to shoot.
Adrian Garcia is 53. All-state plugger in the middle.
24 TFLs, 3 sacks.
So sometimes what you do by the unbalanced, you can get them aligned the way you want them to run the option that you want to run, like the midline. Now it's open up the middle where they could run the midline.
Oh, it was Garcia.
Yeah,
blew up the mesh.
Right on the snap. I mean, Adrian just timed it perfectly to join the party immediately.
This is a D-tackle's dream right here, I'm telling you. This is fun to watch. It is straight penetration.
Yeah, right in this area.
Ball get off. Getting into the grill. They try to run it back weak side. Great job squeezing down as you get that veer inside release. Garcia was climbing vertical. Boom, right into Kopaz. 1 yard loss. Great job.
3rd and 10 for the Panthers. Kopaz looking to go airborne again, and in the middle of a lot of traffic and mostly Angels downfield, so it's 4th and 10.
Looks like Lech was there, or excuse me, Braden Bloom was there as a potential receiver just off his fingertips. Got to be 4 down territory here. It looks like this all.
Yeah, they're gonna go for it. I'm not sure what they see as their favorite 4th and 10. Maybe that tight end post wheel again.
And Derek Meyer, he is Mr. Big Time Catch. That was just his 10th catch of the year, but he always makes them count. They need something here.
Ooh, a little counter.
Little counter to Berg. Keegan didn't get it. They'll mark him at the 17.5-yard line. That's where St. Catherine's will get the football back in a scoreless duel here in the 2nd quarter in Madison.
Yes.
He thought they had it. He thought they were going to get it.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Do you want me to practice now?
He was
and
like,
then
we had it.
Yep.
it starts
Go
going.
get it.
I need to hit clear before you take it and go. Hello? So maybe what it is I need to draw and then tell you to hit. I hit clear and then you have it go. Okay. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so if there's...
So I'll try to alert you that I'm going to draw, okay?
Going at it here for the Division IV state championship. No score between the Angels and Panthers. And usually in a scoreless game at this juncture, you say, well, it's the feeling out process. No, we're past the feeling out process. It's two defenses that are just rising up to make big plays when everyone gets close to sniffing the end zone.
No doubt. It's Garcia up front is creating havoc for St. Croix Central. It's been Henriksen, Nogel, the dudes that you see game in, game out all year long, riding that defense. Why they're in Madison.
Deshaun Brown, 0 for 5 passing so far, but the ground game has been good. That guy, Isaiah Dodd, up and over 50 yards now on his 10th carry. Brown has carried 6 times for 39 yards, so they've been able to slice and carve through the Panthers' defense, but when they need to go to the air, nothing doing.
Dodd is just doing a phenomenal job of being patient, hitting it, changing direction, making guys miss, sending them up one way, knowing where the blockers are. He's pretty impressive.
2nd down and 4. Back to Dodd. 1st down.
He's just water bug quick, man.
It looks like they're pulling Hoyser across as an extra blocker all the way across the formation from his slot position down near us and then towards the sideline of St. Croix. Gives an extra blocker at the point of attack, and then Dodd's just doing what Dodd's done all game and all year. Making plays.
First set of downs at the 30-yard line. Go back to Dodd, and this time gang tackled. Panthers there en masse, no gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Yeah,
great.
Defense stiffened up there, just held the point of attack, and folks rallied to the ball really well.
It's like Josh Woodington there. 6'2", 235 junior on the edge for the Panthers.
Second and 10 at the 30. Markers, and somebody flinched. Let me ask you guys something. Does anybody huddle up anymore?
Prior to the snap,
Earlier
False
today,
start.
the two
on
T7
the
teams
offense,
huddled.
Yep.
remains
But-
2nd down.
But I mean, the game is so sophisticated, even at the high school level, that huddles are that's a throwaway now, isn't it?
Yeah, you're looking at different tempos too. A lot of teams will do the true spread no huddle. A lot of times you're doing the check tempo where maybe you got a wristband or you have 2 calls depending on what you're seeing from a D.
2nd and 15, low snap, Brown, no problem. But now he's got issues.
Oh,
Still on his feet. Look at this.
oh my gosh.
And out of bounds and out of gas at the 35-yard line.
We need that
How
ESPN
many?
tracking of how many yards you ran in one play to get, what, 5 yards?
I don't think you had that function, Al, do you?
No,
It was a lot.
it would be interesting to have a little chip in him to see how many steps he took, how many yards he covered.
I mean, Henriksen had him here. It looked like he took his head off almost. But how did he stay in bounds? Hinsman had a shot. I think everybody had a shot.
Broke 3 tackles after the one that everyone in the house thought he was down on. Gain of 6. And then Dodd slams into a pile of Panthers. Henriksen again. We called his name a lot for a reason.
Yeah, Nogel's there too. Both guys playing that D-end hybrid where they'll kind of be in a 3-man front, maybe a 4-man front as Coordinator John Tackman has said middle border assistant coach of the year has done a great job, only giving up 8 points a game, 112 yards per game total.
Anthony Shiro on to punt for the Angels here on 4th and 4. Kopaz and Berg are deep. Kopaz will watch it as the Angels down it at the 35-yard line.
That's one where maybe you let bounce a few more times, huh?
Yeah, I kind of thought so, but I don't know.
Maybe you saw the returner there?
Yeah, that could be. It looked like that would have been one that maybe could have rolled another 10 yards or so on the turf.
These are the ones off the foot. You're like, no. Yes.
Yeah, he kind of bobbled it coming out of his hand. Wasn't the ultra drop that they would teach at the Coles Kicking Academy.
Going bone here.
On 1st and 10 at the 36. Kopaz has it, flips it. Berg will make his way to the 40-yard line, gain of 5 on that toss.
Looks like that outside veer again, wider, trying to hit the fullback up C gap. Pull it, you got an extra bone back leading up like you would in a slot almost, in a normal double slot flex bone. Kopaz got it out to Berg. Great job by the defender there on the edge of limiting it to a 5-yard gain on the first time.
Tripped up. Going to be just a yard shy of the marker, not even, about a half yard.
Yeah, they're going double tight to kind of spread that front again. Racine's answer seems to be is let's fire some backers and hit some of those gaps in those in the line.
Well, and that was kind of that twirl where it's half orbit and then insert too. Yep. So you had that up, looked like C gap, plus you had another back up B gap, which gives you an extra push to get close to what looks like it's going to be 4th and...
No, third and less than a yard. They eyeballed it because it was close, and they're going to say you need a few more inches. And the Panthers will get it.
That's a really tricky motion because he's really close to moving forward when the ball snapped. That's another one as a coach I'd be helping the official. I think he's moving forward a little bit there.
That's a lot of teams we played. I mean, when we played against you guys at Edgewood or Reedsburg where you're leaning to get a little head start, you do it so much it's kind of hard to really tell.
It's called cheating, right?
No.
Both you guys. Oh, no. Ryan Larson into Angels territory to the 46-yard line.
It's probably more leveraging.
Okay.
You have to just word it right.
Yeah, it's semantics. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware. Clock running here. Coming down to 5 minutes left in the first half. 2nd down and 5. Showing blitz, now backing off. One thing, Dan Miller talked to him earlier this week. He says you gotta pick your spots to blitz, because if you blitz and jump the gun too quickly against this offense, then boom, the gap opens up and he gone.
No, and that's one of the real dangers of blitzing option teams is you can blow up the mesh, which they've done a couple of times, but if you miss, it's a big hit.
It's like big old Adrian Harrington, 6'3", 48 in the middle.
Larson got enough to get to the 40. That's another first down.
I guess that's an answer, is not run right at him. Run away from him.
Run at a slant, yeah.
Yeah, run that kind of wider veer path.
Yeah, like you're saying. And again, Larson runs that really well.
From the 40. Kopaz keeps it. Good call there, good read.
One of the first key plays for Kopaz. Now the other thing that's interesting, you can give the football a lot to the fullback. 30 times he's running like 5 yards.
Yep.
Whereas Deshaun Brown, he's running 80 yards to get 5.
conserving energy.
2nd down and 2. Lopez, toss it.
Pitch phase. There's the flag.
Yeah, there's a bunch of hankies on the field, and that'll go against St. Croix, and the 1st down wiped out.
It's like whoever's playing corner there did a great job of swiping hands and getting in position.
Absolutely.
Only thing that the St. Croix Central defender could do was hit him right in the back, and official saw it.
So the hold will negate the run. March it back, make it 2nd down and long.
Seeing a little bit more pull and pitch to maybe get some more width. A lot of times it's been fullback, but now more on the edge here, so we'll see.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards, remains 2nd down.
Yeah, it's gonna come outside here. It's a block in the back on the outside receiver.
It's like Holm was out at receiver there and just bumped him right in the back on the.
That was a good call. It was clearly blocking the back.
2nd down and a dozen for St. Croix Central. Lopez tackle DJ Carter.
Hello.
Yeah, this is when, again, they have the really wide splits, which gives run-through opportunities for backers if they can time the snap.
Carter's gonna be right there.
He and Garcia are just
run it.
No chance.
Yeah, the linemen have no chance. They're timing the snap, and that's where, again, the quarterback's got to mix the snap count. They have it timed up pretty good.
All-Stater. Can you see why?
Well, sometimes you could be able to go on a 2 count then too, right? So you could see that they're timing it out, go on 2, check the call, and then be able to be in a better spot on offense.
3rd and 15.
Just did it.
There you go.
The Angels jumped, whole bunch of them, and they're going to call offsides on St. Catherine's.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards, remains 3rd down.
And it truly was the defense, because it wasn't just one guy. It was about 4 or 5.
Right. No, they're trying to time that snap and then, time it with the motion. And that's why you have to have a rhythm cadence when you use motion like that.
And I don't think you could live in that defensively. Guessing, blitzing, maybe a couple times you hit it, but we'll see if that is a long-term plan for the Angels.
3rd and 10 for the Panthers. Kopaz rolls out, throws downfield, and in traffic and almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Luke Lech, who almost had a scoop and carry with room in front. That'll bring up 4th down.
Maybe his visor is all fogged up here.
Well, again, this is not what they do best, and so, again, St. Croix is not an offense that can afford the 10-yard penalty.
Look at Carter out there, 5'11", 250 out there in the passing lane, getting depth. It's good stuff.
All-State punter Derek Meyer will boot the football once again. Angles. And, into the end zone. Touchback. We'll bring it out for St. Catherine's. 9 plays, 24 yards, couple penalties. Nothing to show for that drive. Nothing still on the scoreboard here in Madison. Angels here in the nightcap. Division IV state championship. Angels' first trip. St. Croix Central. Runners up a year ago, champs the year before that. Finally got that second title after that 1988 squad. Brought the first one home. Back to Hammond. 1st and 10 at the 20. Low snap. Brown stays with it, stays calm, and here he goes up the middle. Wrapped up and brought down before he could escape. Henriksen again. This is a recording.
Yeah, Henriksen all over the place. It looked like he may have had Stevens down the seam, but a safety from St. Croix I saw was kind of cheating over to be able to help down on the vertical shot. But Brown making something out of nothing as he's done all night.
Got 5, so it's 2nd and 5. Clock running here, under 2 to go before halftime.
Another empty look here.
Dodd slides through. Dodd gets it. And Dodd out of bounds at the 32-yard line. 1st down, stops the clock.
That's that same power read out of the jet that they got in the first quarter to be able to convert one when Dodd led for Brown to be able to get that 1st down. Pulled Carthron to be able to pull some of those backers and gain some width. May have had an edge defender stay put, so he gave it to Dodd on the sweep. Got the 1st down. Nice job.
1st and 10 at the 34. Brown all by his lonesome once again. And couldn't get anything on that, but he still connects with Dodd downfield. Wow. Catch made at the 43. It was a lame duck, but thankful for Brown that it was.
5'6" receiver somehow came down with it.
Yeah, it defies explanation. I know I was reading in the paper that he had trouble gripping the ball in the cold last week. And that one didn't come out of his hand real good, but, you know, it was a one-on-one situation, and he came back to the ball really well.
Those are tough to defend, though, as a DB.
One-on-one.
The underthrown balls, too, when you have to come back and you don't know where that receiver is. Kind of a tough one there.
42-yard line. Brown again, a low snap. Reels it in, now steps up and fires. Catch is made at the 25-yard line. Rashid Poole right there for the grab. Angels in business.
Great protection up front by St. Cat's, allowing Brown. Clock is running. Steps up in the pocket, puts it on the money. Poole. The drive continues. Angels knocking on the door.
Yeah, the clock stops until they get the change set, so it's back running again.
1st and 10 at the 21. Dodd behind Brown. Steps out. Brown stepping up. Now on the move. Pushed OB at the 17. He had one man downfield in the corner of the end zone, but there were blue shirts around him.
Looked like Poole on that slot fade. That number 2 receiver maybe run some short routes out or in. Isolate that number 2 receiver on a fade out of the slot. That's kind of the scheme you're seeing a lot in college and pros. Look for that maybe either on this drive or later in the game as a good one-on-one matchup that the Angels feel like they can win.
2 timeouts in the back pocket for Dan Miller here.
Could be Poole right here on the slot fade.
2nd down and 6. Back to the ground, and Dodd, not a good idea. St. Croix Central blows it up. Larson, Keeganberg, both there to tag team the takedown.
Yeah, that's one of those things that it looked to me formationally that they were going to try to run, but I think St. Croix decided we're going to heat them up blitz-wise, and then you're used to pass block, and all of a sudden to try to run block, shifting gears. You know, both these teams, it's just like a big-time stalemate.
It's trying to counter them, so whether you're not getting any team comfortable at all.
No.
Trying to really mess with tendencies when you're blitzing, when you're not blitzing, giving old linemen a different look, slanting, shifting, stemming, anything to be able to get an advantage on either side of the ball.
Coming up, our halftime coverage, Piper Shaw. He'll get the thoughts from both head coaches. Sophia Minert And Bill Brophy, they'll recap the key moments from the first half, plus an interview with a member of the WIAA staff. That's all coming up at halftime. One more timeout remaining for St. Catharines here on 3rd down and 11. Brown, remember guys, before he completed those last two, he was 0 for 5. But on the last two, through the air, picking up 45 yards.
He's got some hand warmers in his pocket somewhere.
Gonna need it on a chilly night here at Camp Randall. 3rd down and 11. Brown probing, firing. Nothing there.
Brought those two dudes up the middle again. Looks like Larson and Berg, a delay. I think Larson came first, and then Berg was kind of the delay second. Got right in Brown's face again. Forced to overthrow to Stevens in the back of the end zone.
Basically a +1 blitz. They weren't going to be able to pick them all up out of empty.
Yeah.
Great part of the chess match where St. Croix is, okay, you want to go empty? We're going to bring 6.
I love the empty bring 6, because unless Brown's going to block for himself, it ain't happening.
But you better get it.
Well played.
Got to have the 11-yard line to keep the football here on 4th and 11. Deshaun flushed. And he'll just throw it away. Nothing there and no running room in front either. St. Croix Central defense, good job to contain that QB.
It's a big time stop. 22 seconds left. Had a chance to potentially put some score on the board. Panthers dug in deep, found a way to get a stop. Great job. Just a back and forth. This is a fun grinder of a game.
That drive, 8 plays, 58 yards, $159. Nothing to show for it, but that's been the theme tonight for both teams. They've showed explosiveness. They've got their teams in position to put points on the board, but then both defenses have risen to the occasion to keep this scoreless and leave a timeout. St. Croix Central, yep, they'll burn one with 16 left.
Yeah, it's 16 seconds. Maybe you figure hit one deep, do the same post wheel concept that Meyer hit a long one earlier in the game. Get yourself in a position where maybe you can throw one up. I don't know what Pettit's range is on the year as a kicker, but maybe not looking at a ridiculously long field goal, but at least maybe give yourself a shot at throwing one towards the end zone. We'll see.
It'll be interesting to see how Racine lines up here, because there's a number of times I've seen people switch to like a prevent defense and they pop a dive.
Yeah.
You know, because you've changed the reads for your kids defensively.
You don't want to be in that mode where you're chasing somebody around trying to get them down at the end of the half. It's like, let's just be tight, sound, get our kids in a position where we've done it before, not overthink it here.
And by the way, you mentioned Jackson Pettit, the kicker for St. Croix Central, hasn't attempted a field goal all year long. He's just Mr. Extra Point guy after the offense takes care of business, and they'll just run Berg off the right side. Another timeout here by Tony DeSalvo. He's got one left. Tony, by the way, is 18th season as the head coach at St. Croix Central. He's the middle school math teacher, been doing that, guys, for 33 years, crunching the numbers, and he's retiring on December 20th from teaching. Not sure about football, but from teaching.
I'm around 8th graders right now, and it is 33 years of 8th graders.
That's why I bring it up, Ryan, because you can relate, right?
It is, that's impressive. That's cool, though. I mean, as a middle school teacher, I'm sure in that district, you're able to see a lot of those kids bloom and get them in high school, see their development, see them grow, develop relationships in a smaller community. That's what it's all about. That's good stuff.
From Cumberland High School, played football at UW Eau Claire and UW River Falls back in the day, as they say.
I didn't know this too. This year was their first Middle Border Conference title in program history. They've been to the state the last 3 years because Osceola had been so good the last couple years as well.
Great conference, always represents well.
Somerset as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Somerset was another reason for that.
Looking to throw here, Kopaz. And into traffic, and markers come down. I believe it's intercepted. It is. There is a penalty flag. Hale comes up with the football, but hold the phone.
Looks like maybe a lineman downfield, 65's downfield.
It was a screen pass that got caught downfield. It was caught downfield. The linemen are downfield. Was not a well-executed screen, so I think the interception's going to hold.
And this is big because of Brown's ability to throw the ball down the field as well. They make it a shot to get to the end zone here.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. That is declined. First down.
Yeah, they'll get a shot.
Take a look at this replay here.
Look at Hale.
Oh, between. Oh, no.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. That is phenomenal.
If we did have replay in high school football, they could throw the flag and challenge it, and challenge denied. It was clean. So now Braun, what can Brown do for you? From the 43-yard line, you get a heave here, and if there's a penalty, you might get another shot.
Oh, baby.
Double reverse. And now the throw from Poole to Brown. And it's out of bounds. Well, worth a shot.
It's kind of funny. You're watching, and then Houlihan out there, he keeps pointing like, who's going to guard this guy?
Yeah.
And thankfully, the ball was overthrown. I don't know. He may have had a shot to get to the end zone.
That looked like the Little Giants annexation of Puerto Rico.
Well, a lot of fireworks on the field, but not so much on the scoreboard. That's okay. We got a back and forth affair, a grinder. Two teams going at it for all the marbles in Division 4. Racine St. Catharines nothing. St. Croix Central nothing. Halftime activity coming your way next on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Camp Randall. I'm standing alongside head coach of St. Kate's, Dan Miller. Heading into halftime, we're at a 0-0 score. What are you hoping to do to get on the board in the second half?
Well, right now we're testing each other's mettle right now. Obviously, they're a great team, and we just got to make a few adjustments. I think we got to settle down a little bit, and then just believe in what we've been doing all season long, and that's playing Angel strong football. So that's what we're going to talk about in the locker room.
Now, when we were talking earlier, you were saying how you really wanted to see them play loose, play fast, play with the kind of swagger you've seen throughout the season. Do you think you're seeing that here tonight?
I don't think so right now. I think the kids are a little nervous, or they're just really excited. And I mean, the atmosphere is wonderful here. So we're going to settle them down a little bit, and we're going to make sure we get back to playing the way we always play.
All right, well, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, halftime coverage continues next. Welcome back to Camp Randall. I'm standing alongside head coach of St. Kate's, Dan Miller. Heading into halftime, we're at a 0-0 score. What are you hoping to do to get on the board in the second half?
Well, right now we're testing each other's mettle right now. Obviously, they're a great team.
Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, halftime coverage continues next. Welcome back to Camp Randall. I'm standing alongside head coach of St. Kate's, Dan Miller. And heading into halftime, we're at a 0-0 score. What are you hoping to do to get on the board in the second half?
Well, you know, right now we're testing each other's mettle right now. Obviously, they're a great team. And, you know, we just got to make a few adjustments. I think we got to settle down a little bit and then just believe in what we've been doing all season long, and that's playing Angel strong football. So that's what we're going to talk about in the locker room.
Now, when we were talking earlier, you were saying how you really wanted to see them play loose, play fast, play with the kind of swagger you've seen throughout the season. Do you think you're seeing that here tonight?
I don't think so right now. I think the kids are a little nervous or they're just really excited. And I mean, the atmosphere is wonderful here. So we're going to settle them down a little bit, and we're going to make
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. All right, halftime coverage continues next.
St. Croix Central dance team, coached by Becky Dillon. This evening, the Panther Marching Band will perform the pop hit Hand Clap by a special choreographed by the St. Croix Central dance team. Let's hear one more time from the Panthers.
Such a man of the media, Todd. Way to go, Brian. You're the MVP. You're the MVP.
No doubt.
No doubt. Taking all the pictures, making memories.
Making memories, yeah.
Making memories.
That's what it's all about, you know. I miss emailing you after the thing, giving you all the cover shots.
Sell those memories, man.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I used to like getting those little emails. Hi, can you pull me 4 or 5? I want to do DVD covers.
I need to do DVD. The finale of day one of the WIAA Football State Championships. We're at halftime of the Division IV state title game. No score between the St. Croix Central Panthers and the Racine St. Catharines Angels. Our halftime coverage continues here at Camp Randall Stadium. And our guest for this segment is Eric Coleman, WIAA Board of Control President, representing Milwaukee Public Schools. And Eric, certainly there's a big agenda for the Board of Control, as there always is, as you try to continue to improve athletics here with the WIAA in the state of Wisconsin. But just one of the things that's on the Board of Control agenda is the football-only conferences and the realignment that is proposed for 2020. Can you share kind of how the Board of Control is involved in that initiative?
So right now there is a plan in place. A good number of the schools are on board. There's just some final things that need to be ironed out, and then it'll come to the board again December or January for a final vote. And, you know, we'll see what happens.
And we'll see what happens. And again, that initiative is expected to be in place for 2020 if it gets approved. And again, the WIAA working in conjunction with the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association in order to do those football-only conferences. And Eric, another agenda for the Board of Control is just the athletic code of conduct and improving that within schools and implementing that with their student athletes. How is the Board of Control addressing that?
Actually, that will be a constitutional item that will come about at the annual meeting in April. At the 7 area meetings, a lot of the schools were asked to kind of look at the code of conduct that they have in place, if it's sufficient, if changes needed to be made. It really comes down to local control.
And why is that important? You know, just in terms of it, preserving the integrity of sports and that code of conduct of where you guys want it to be.
I think it comes down to the severity of disciplinary incident or involving a student athlete. not only how it affects the school community, but the overall state tournament series.
And what else is the Board of Control addressing as you guys look ahead for the rest of the winter and spring season?
Another constitutional item that will be coming up at the annual meeting in April has to do with transfer rules and the perception that a lot of student athletes or some student athletes are transferring to certain schools for sports or athletic driven reasons. And again, that's something that the individual schools will vote on at the annual meeting.
And for you personally, you're representing Milwaukee Public Schools. How much have you enjoyed this role working with the WIAA Board of Control as its president?
This is my first year as president. I've been on the board 5 years. Prior to being on the board, I was on the advisory council for 6 years. What it has done for me is allowed me to see and hear different things from different parts of the state. I think sometimes people like to support their own, but you get to see the overall aspect of sports throughout the state, different views, and how sports can be a great equalizer. I think in this day and age, a lot of students don't participate in sports as much as they used to. So my plea for the young people would be is to, put the video games down, get involved in something. Even if you don't feel you're that good, futures and different things can come about it.
Well, we applaud you and the work that the Board of Control does all year long, along with the WIAA. So thanks to Eric Holman for joining us. WIAA Board of Control President will have more halftime coverage coming up here at Camp Randall. No score in the Division IV title game. Halftime coverage continues here at Camp Randall Stadium. We are in the finale, just one half remaining of this first day of WIAA Football State Championship action. And Sophia Minard joined now by Bill Brophy again. And Bro, this is a new one. This is the first time we've had a scoreless half today. So between the Panthers and the Racine St. Catharines Angels, we talked about the matchup at the start of the game. Racine St. Catharines making their first state appearance. Maybe there would be some jitters there. But for the St. Croix Central Panthers, they're here for the third straight year. How did you see that experience, or maybe lack of experience, play out here in the first half?
Well, I think Piper heard from the coach that he didn't think his team played with their usual swagger. Obviously, the quarterback, Brown, is one exciting athlete. He had trouble throwing the ball in the first half, but, well, he makes things happen. But you got to, in a scoreless game, you got to talk about the defense. We knew Larson was a heck of a linebacker, all-state for St. Croix Central, but Racine St. Cat's has some athletes too. Garcia and Carter, they're awfully good players, and they certainly have done a pretty good job of nullifying that option game that St. Croix Croix Central has been known for. Again, this is a team that won 10 straight games to start the year with running time scores, 35 points or better. But they also have a good defense. They have 6 shutouts during the year. So it's not surprising their defense is as stout as we've seen here on this cold night in Camp Randall.
Well, and for as much as we talk about offense, maybe we should give both of these defenses some credit. As you said, St. Croix Central, they had 6 shutouts on the season. But Racine St. Catherine's, their defense as well, they allowed 7 points or less in 7 of their games. So, you know, both of these clubs have proven that they can shut down each other.
Well, again, in Garcia, you got an all-state caliber guy, Carter as well. And I think when it's all said and done, you're going to see some of those offensive stars shine bright here in the Camp Randall turf tonight.
Well, it certainly will be interesting to see what adjustments both of these coaches make as they come out of the locker room for the second half. We'll take a look at the first half stats when we return here at Camp Randall. No score between St. Croix Central and Racine St. Catherine's. We're at halftime of the Division IV state championship game. Let's take a look at the first half stats and how these two teams matched up here in the first half. And Brof, the numbers are fairly equal. The Angels have a few more rushing yards. The passing yards identical at 45. You see the total yards of offense there, 171 for the Angels to 137 for the Panthers. What sticks out to you here is we know the Angels will receive the ball in the second half.
Well, St. Cat's moved the ball, both Dodd and Brown. It's pretty impressive individual numbers in the first half. St. Croix Central really hasn't been able to get its running game going. They had 2 turnovers, which obviously hurt. But I should say, things are pretty even in time of possession and in rushing yard. Neither team threw the ball very well. And perhaps the one that can make the big play through the air may win this football game.
Again, adjustments will be made here. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. The Racine St. Catherine's Angels are making their first appearance here at state, and the Panthers were runners-up last year. Might they take home the gold ball this year?
Games coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. in Division III. Catholic Memorial will be playing Westie Pier at 1 p.m. in Division II. Brookfield Central. At 4 p.m. tomorrow in Division I. Kimberly will take on Muskego.
Defense winning the day in the first half of this one, but nothing to show for it on the scoreboard. Nothing at the first half of play between St. Croix Central and Racine St. Catharines. Check in down in the field once again with Piper Shaw.
Well, guys, I just caught up with St. Croix Central's head coach, Tony De Silva, and he says that initially going into this game, he was thinking that they were really going to need their best offense on the field to kind of make up for their defense. But he says he's pretty pleased with how the defense is actually playing, and he'd really like to see offense step it up in this 0-0 game. But he also says that the number one thing that he wants to see his guys do is just clean it up. He says they've been playing sloppy, and he just wants a good, clean game of football. So we'll have to see how it goes in the second half at 0-0. Back up to you guys.
Thank you. Ryan, Al, let me ask you guys as football coaches, what's the tipping point here? What is the break that springs one of these teams to take the early advantage?
I think you look at St. Croix Central has been here. You have so many players, coaches that have been on the big stage, that have been in situations where they've needed to come back. You're leaning on that experience, control the clock with their option offense, lean on those seniors, and hopefully the defense you see from St. Cat's trying to blitz and guess, you don't know if that's going to be able to withstand that the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'm looking for a crack, somebody to crack, whether it's a turnover or a big play.
Maybe this. Dodd to Brown, and not buying it. Special teams unit, Luke Holm, with the takedown of Brown. And a little gimpy.
This would be another issue.
Oh boy. And that's the risk you run. I know you want your best athletes out there returning kicks as you look at the first half possessions, but Brown's not going to be able to take snaps.
He's heading straight to the bench to get evaluated by the trainer. The good news is he is limping off.
Keenan Carter, guys, is the junior backup quarterback. He's number 2 as they look at Brown. And Dodd, more on his plate, perhaps, with his quarterback not taking snaps now.
Yeah, I would think you'd go Wildcat here with Dodd, get the ball in his hands, give you an extra blocker up front, and roll the dice there.
You give it to Dodd, and he goes to work.
Like maybe he got it yanked out of there quick.
Keenan Carter, according to the stats, this is the 5th game he's been in at quarterback. 9 of 18 through the air, 181 yards. He's thrown 3 touchdowns, but you got to believe a lot of that was mop-up duty and just in relief of Deshaun Brown. Not in a situation like this in a scoreless game, and not at the state championship on top of that.
Looks like Brown is still gingerly walking on the sidelines back and forth, maybe trying to loosen it up, but doesn't look like he's going back in anytime soon.
Keenan Carter also in that defensive backfield. We've seen him back there. 2nd down and 7, and whistles and timeout St. Catharines. They burn an early one here, but
again, you don't know how comfortable he is with no huddle communication.
Well, looks like maybe he's going back in. Tagged out his buddy.
Then it was a timeout well spent if you can get Brown back in the football game.
Somebody must have whispered, I think Deshaun's ready.
Maybe you had that World Cup. You got that like magical spray that you spray on an injury when they go down or something. I don't know if it was a knee or something. I don't know.
Well, we'll bookmark this, guys, because let's see how Deshaun Brown, maybe he shakes it off, but once you get out there and you're trying to be mobile, sometimes you can re-aggravate that injury. So keep your eyes on number 4 and how this affects him when he is flushed out of the pocket.
And again, mobility is a big part of his game.
He inherits 2nd down and 6. Early movement. Markers down. Jack Albertson signaling offsides on the Panthers. Nope.
No.
Changed his mind.
Yeah, first it was offsides, and then he changed it to false start.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, remains 2nd down.
2nd and 11 now. You see DJ Carter behind Brown in the backfield. Clean snap. Brown, little outlet pass, and tippy toes the sidelines. Enough to get the first down is Heuser.
That's a great little arrow route. Got Heuser in space. One-on-one with Braden Bloom. Great ball there. We've seen coming up and down. Brown has been inaccurate to start the game. Towards the end of the first half, he was putting it on. That was a great ball to Heuser to get the Angels a first down.
Yeah, I agree. I was wondering why they didn't get the ball out of his hands a little bit quicker, but he looked really comfortable throwing the out route, whereas most of the other things in the first half were post routes, crossing routes.
There's the give to DJ Carter. Now, interesting, guys, Isaiah Dodd on the sidelines, number 3, not injured, but just watching the proceedings at the moment, and Carter lining up in the backfield.
It's a big back to take down, 5'11", 250. It's a big dude carrying the ball. That ultra back, Ben lined up in the slot, kind of a sniffer or H-back. Now in the backfield, carrying the ball for the Angels. Nice gain on first down.
2nd down and 5. Brown cutting across. Incomplete. TJ Rouse tried to go low and scoop it. Couldn't. Brings up 3rd down.
That's another one you got to put it on him. You line them way out here to give yourself some room on that slant. They were playing off a little bit. Got to give him a chance. Gabe Seiler was playing that corner way off. Rouse had plenty of space. You just hope Brown can put it right around the vicinity of his chest to give him a chance.
Brown surveys on 3rd and 5. Low snap again. That's been an issue all night long. And taking advantage, pummeling Brown. Nogel.
And that's one we've seen 3 or 4 times before, that speed option. Hasn't pitched it maybe one time. Nogel just got in his face. Brown is the guy you want to get the ball in his hands quick. Maybe a cloudy read. Nogel finished it off, causing a 4th down and another punt for the Angels. Big stop for the Panthers.
Anthony Shiro will boot the football. Austin Kopaz is deep. Look out. Got it away. Good kick, too. And fair catch called for, made at the 36-yard line. Panthers take over there in a scoreless duel.
I think Coach Miller just had a hiccup there, man. That snap didn't look so good.
Here's your first half possessions for the Panthers. Up and down, and despite all the irregularities, again, we saw some explosiveness from both teams. We saw some big plays from both teams, but cashing in, that was the issue for both teams.
Really anxious to see what kind of plan they have coming out here in the second half.
On the give to Bird, Keegan with a game of a couple.
That same play where they're I formation, they have that slot, kind of do the half orbit, insert plus a fullback insert, and you get 2 at the point of attack. They've done that quite a bit. Short gain there, great job of constricting gaps up front, controlling the line of scrimmage, as St. Cat's has done a lot of the times, especially when you have big dudes in the middle. Who's that?
Yeah, those down 3. A lot of pounds in there.
Adrian Harrington, 6 foot, 348.
Little 2-hand shovel toss to Keegan Berg, and that time, as a marker comes in at the end, well after the play was over, and the Angels not happy.
Yards.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I really didn't like that call. I thought the kid made a great play, and he just shoved him out of bounds.
In this type of game, I'm not sure.
You know, it wasn't like he shoved him over to the bench or anything like that.
Dead ball foul. Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. Results in a first down.
Well, you be the judge.
And following that penalty,
I mean, maybe unnecessary a little bit, but I don't know. I mean, that's close.
1st and 10 at the 44. Squeezing through is Ryan Larson. Larson's been pretty quiet so far, guys, and you just kind of get the feeling that he's going to start to get lathered up here.
No, and they picked up the blitz and they hit the wide dive, the outside veer, and that was really close to being the pop run that we've been talking about.
And Larson has that big play potential. He saw it too. Almost burst it. Got 9, 2nd down and 1. Pitch it. Berg. Berg gets blasted, spinning. They faked to Larson first, then went to Berg. Angels were there in both spots.
That's a great job there. It looks like A.Z. Stevens playing a little corner. Great job of striking, shedding, and that's the receiver on the edge on that pitch off the double option there. He's the last man of defense. Great job getting off block. They've been doing a great job on the edge of preventing those tosses from getting, or the pitches from getting loose.
3rd and a couple, bunched in tight. Ooh, almost lost the handle. And Berg will he'll get the 1st down. That was jittery on the exchange, and give credit to Keegan Berg for staying with it and finally reeling it in to get the 1st down.
And that's back to that Larson 1st down outside veer. Now the Panthers are just grind it out, 3, 4, 5 yards a pop. Now those runs are turning into potentially 8, 9, 10-yard bursts.
And now if they can prevent any penalties or backward plays, we're looking 4 downs, 4 downhill runs.
1st and 10 to 31.
Check tempo.
Lopez keeps it, flips it. Berg up and over the 30 to the 29. He'll get a couple. 2nd and 8.
Who's that on the edge there? Whoever that corner was, again, looks like Stevens again. That's the deal. You have to be able to contest that pitch. It's one-on-one on the edge with the receiver against the DB. Great job getting off a block, squeezing them into that boundary.
She gave him 3, so it's 2nd down and 7.
Unbalanced on the top. There you go.
Lopez keeps it right at the sticks. He'll pick up the 1st down.
One of the first times we've seen that quarterback keep off of that, where he really came downhill off of the dive read.
Almost got one loose here early in the 1st half. Going to get some width. Squeeze down, whoever that number 6 was, that outside linebacker was Jaron Hutcherson. Squeezed down, turned his head inside. Kopaz pulled it, got loose for another 1st down.
And they're giving him a 1st down.
Get those chains set. There we go.
Gave Austin time to run over and double check on the play call on his own sidelines. Fresh set of downs here at the 22.
Look at the wide splits to the left.
Larson runs into all sorts of bodies. To the 20 he goes.
Sometimes with that too, it's how do you align, because they're looking at how are you going to respond defensively. Sometimes maybe you bump a guy into a gap, maybe, but tough thing with that is then you don't have any control on an actual man, so maybe as a free release up to a backer. So they're really looking at how are they going to respond alignment-wise, and then having an answer for that.
We always talked about performance alignment, tried to figure out how they're going to react to your alignment.
Larson's got it off the right side this time, past the 15, close to the 14. 3rd and 2 for the Panthers.
Kind of reminds you a little of Orlandoni in the Division 5 title game that we just watched, kind of riding him as that ball carrier and inside linebacker in the middle of the defense. Larson putting the team on his back here,
as he has done all season long. Kopaz, flip it, Berg, undercut, nicely done. Keenan Carter stops him a yard shy and brings up 4th down.
I guarantee you the coaches up top are saying, oh, Larson had 8 or 9.
I know.
You know, and that's one of the things, you're an option team, you got to live with the reads that the kid makes.
Yep.
4th and 1.
So what are you going, Ryan? You're going to go the veer to the fullback, or are you going to overload and
I think it's
with
going to
the
be
tailback?
a QB keep. Keep it. Nope. Give it to Larson.
Straight ahead. Nothing fancy, but bread and butter at St. Croix Central.
I thought it's one of those where maybe they read, and then he follows it late.
Yep.
But here we go. It's going to be right up the chute. Larson right at him. Squeezing down. Great job by Henriksen there. Create a lane through C-gap.
Larson again.
Now what they've done, if you can you give us that end zone look again? They've tightened the splits down, and they're going to inside veer. You got these guys that look how tight those splits are. And he's going to come right in here. Let her go. So they just tighten the splits down.
Still looks like almost that C-gap off the tight end, too, because it's so tight.
Larson close, but not in. They'll mark him just shy inside the 1 yard line.
Somebody's
and
down.
That's Larson. Got tangled up. And oh boy, this is huge for the Panthers. Their leader, their senior, will come back, check on him when we return scoreless here at Madison.
Access the latest news, schedules, and results of all WIAA tournaments by logging on to WIAAWI.org and accessing the halftime site. The official website of WIAA is also your one-stop source for all tournament information, history, and records. Again, that's WIAAWI.org.
St. Croix Central, their senior, their workhorse, Ryan Larson. When you're bunched in this time, this close, guys, surprising. Things like this don't happen a lot more.
Let's take a look here. Just down a lot of bodies in a close area. Just kind of gets tangled up a little bit there.
Yeah, one of the big bodies laying right on the ankle.
That's tough.
It's Adrian Garcia, guys, and just making the tackle and then finishing the play. Larson kind of bent in half as he goes down on the Camp Randall turf, but up and walking back, albeit slowly.
Yeah, you hate to see any injuries like that, especially at this stage, being a senior captain, leader. So now you look at the Panthers, got to regroup, rally around your senior workhorse, find a way to punch it in here to get on the board.
3rd and goal at the 1 yard line.
Again, going real tight splits here.
Touchdown, St. Croix Central. First points of the night. Finally on the board as Keegan Berg takes it in.
Pretty cool for him. Like we said, missed the game last year, is back in action here on the Camp Randall turf. Kopaz sticks it right in his gut.
Go.
Not going to be denied. Panthers on the board.
Going to the left side of that line, guys. They really had a nice push.
They really got off the ball well.
We got Joe Huig at 6'7", 260.
PAT is good. So, solemn moment with the injury to Ryan Larson. Then elation, one play later. Panthers draw first blood in the 3rd quarter in Madison.
Enter the media
WIAA State Football Championships on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance. Premiums paid here. Stay here to keep Wisconsin strong. Well, the lowest scoring game in a championship, that will still stand. 1987, Fondy 3, Oconomowoc nothing. The scoreless standoff finally broken here late in the third quarter as St. Croix Central puts it in for the touchdown. Short kick and dangerous kick, as Keenan Carter said, "I'll take that," and run it up to the 48-yard line of the Panthers.
Yeah, giving them really good field position, you know, and remember that last drive by St. Croix was kind of ignited a little bit by the penalty that put them into plus territory. And kind of quickly after that, they moved into 4-down territory and converted.
14 plays, in fact, 64 yards. Did it in just over 6 minutes. A 1-yard touchdown run by Keegan Bird.
Interesting to see who fills Ryan Larson's shoes here at linebacker as well on D.
Yeah, he's an all-state linebacker, so a key missing component on defense now. 1st and 10 from the 49. Catch is made, slipping the tackle. Heuser, yards after the fact, down to the 26-yard line.
He's run that little quick out, you know, that 1-2 out route. And he's a little guy at only 5'9", 160. Great catch. Boom, plays off. Seiler overrunning him. Makes a couple people miss again, makes Kopaz miss. Angels rolling.
But again, what I like about it is he's getting the ball, catching 1, 2, 3, ball out. No pressure, nobody in his face, throwing out route to the perimeter where he has good vision on it.
1st and 10, 26. Brown in the pocket, fires, catch is made.
Yep.
Going low to get it. A.Z. Stevens.
Again, a quick route, catch, 1, 2, 3, zing it in.
And that's formationing. You're putting trips into the boundary. You're putting Stevens way out there, soloed up on an island with Steinmetz, who's their best cover corner. Stevens makes him, sticks the route, gives himself a target. Brown puts it on the money.
Moving the ball quickly downfield at the 13-yard line. Dodd behind Brown. Isaiah gets the carry. Straight ahead carry, runs right into Carson Hinsman, and the ball came out. Yes, it did! Panthers get it! Are you kidding me?
That must have happened fast.
Yeah.
Too fast.
All of a sudden erupted, and all the St. Kate's kids are looking at each other like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it looks like Hinsman here in the middle. Roll it. Hinsman here in the middle. Knifes through. Takes care of Dodd. Oh, the ball was out right there.
Yeah.
There it is. I didn't even see it.
Got a paw in the cookie jar.
Is that Barons there, 71, he's an honorable mention All-State pick there, a 285-pound wrestler. Great leverage. Johnny on the spot.
What a play when the Angels had momentum after giving up the touchdown. They turn around and make the stop as DJ Carter gets right in there to throw down Kopaz for the loss.
He is all over the place.
I'll say.
Yeah.
Ben at DN, Ben at linebacker. He's running down receivers, down the seam, in the backfield, blocking, carrying the ball. Dude is all over the place.
Well, the freshman Hinsman was the one that caused that fumble on the replay.
2nd down and 14. Kopaz, two-hand toss once again. Running room. Trevor Kopaz.
That was one time where Keenan Carter on the edge. We've seen St. Cat's DBs do such a great job on that third phase of that triple option on the pitch. Carter just misjudged it, didn't get himself in a great position to tackle, and allowed the Panther running back to get loose.
Well, now without Ryan Larson, you put another Kopaz in the backfield with his brother, and he understands this offense too. Ryan mentioned he'll be quarterback next year. Whistles, ball popped out. You heard the whistles before. They said play was dead, player was down.
Slippery football there, jeez Louise.
Yeah, all of a sudden. And it was a 1st down to boot. So move the chains for the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm thinking Coach DeSalvo is not going to make it too crazy. Maybe a couple pitches, make the reads easy for whoever is stepping in. Austin Kopaz for his Trevor Kopaz back there, back in that tight bone formation here, double tight.
Toss it. Mike Steinmetz got that toss, so mixing and matching a bit here without Larson in the fold.
Man, they got guys flowing to the football, though. There are players
right
as the pitch even gets caught.
Yep.
You got guys flying in, making them have to cut back inside to your pursuing defenders. Great job on the edge by St. Cat's to really force things back inside.
See all the nodding going on by the Angels. Those guys know where they're supposed to be. They knew this was going to be assignment football tonight and doing their job, making life difficult, making these yards earned each and every carry.
But I think on the flip side, too, that's where they're fine, or St. Croix Central's fine, just working it, because it's really hard to duplicate this offense in practice. We played against Reedsburg when they were at their heyday. It's so hard to be able to get your scout team to get you a good look, the orbit motion, the snap count, the angles. And so it's really impressive to see St. Cat's flow to the football, but St. Croix Central's done it for years.
Third quarter in the books. Finally a touchdown on the board as St. Croix Central draws first blood here in the second half. They'll go to the fourth quarter in search of another state championship. Racine St. Cat's trying to snatch it away in their first trip to state. 7-0 Panthers over the Angels. That's the bad news for St. Croix Central, not the score. They lead 7-0, but Ryan Larson in the tunnel getting medical attention.
It's like maybe they're taping up his ankle there.
Yeah.
Maybe
it looked like he was lacing up his shoe after they put a whole bunch of tape on it. Yep, he's limping out of the tunnel.
His teammates face a 3rd down and 7. Austin Kopaz under center.
Oh, cut back.
Give it to Berg. He tried to cut back, got to the 30, not enough, short by 3 yards.
Sometimes you'll see that with the veer cutback, where you'll have it a called cutback. You're expecting all those defenders to flow over the top to that B gap, and then that back, boom, that fullback just cuts it right off the nose. But great job by St. Cat's to shut it down and force another punt.
There's Derek Meyer once again.
And one of the difficulties, only one guy back. You can really punt it to an angle and let the ball roll a little bit.
No pressure. Knuckleball end over end. Gets a good roll on the turf, and it'll go OB. By the way, Derek Meyer, I get to tell this story for the 3rd straight year. It's fun, though. His dad, Todd, was part of the 1988 team that won the first state title for St. Croix Central. Todd was part of a triplet combo of Myers, and all 3 of them were in the backfield. Todd, Tom, and Tim just if we were broadcasting the game, guys, you just say Meyer gets the carry, and you'd probably be right.
I don't know. His mom and dad, Tom, Tim, and Todd, got to be hard keeping track of the 3 T's there. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, especially boys, man. The odds of them behaving on a consistent basis.
Well, and Derek now, he's got the best story because he can tell Todd, his father, look, I won 3 straight years. You went just once. Brown on first down. Over the middle. Catch is made by Rouse, who hangs in there, takes the hit, and delivers the catch on the first down.
Great protection. Brown getting more comfortable stepping up into the pocket and put it right on Rouse. Looks like they're not moving the chains yet, is it? Oh, yep, they are now. First down. Great job. Stuck it on him. Rouse brought it in. Getting the ball out quick again, like you said, Coach, like he's been doing all second half.
From the 35, 1st and 10. Brown directing a little traffic. Dodd back in there. Stays in the block for Brown, who fires to the sidelines, and then out of bounds goes Stevens.
Who's that? I think Steinmetz is kind of following Stevens around. He came up hard. Great job making Stevens take a little back pedal, almost step back out of bounds for just a 2.5 yard completion.
Now, AZ coming off might have tweaked something when he tried to plant hard, and I think that did a little something to the ankle, so to the bench he goes.
Yeah, with playing on this turf too, you never know. You stick your foot right, and it kind of gets, I don't know, it gives you some different footing issues versus that natural grass as well.
2nd down and 8. Oh, Dodd somehow elusive to escape the tackle that would have been for no gain. Instead, gets the first down.
No idea how he got through that, but wow.
Houdini act.
Yeah, seriously. It's fantastic, and Carter's back in there for him. Looks like mesh. You had Larson's back in the game at linebacker. Came down, was elusive, got through the arms of him. You got Austin Kopaz bringing him down, but another first down, Angels.
A good catch, Ryan. Larson back in. We thought he might just be limping back to watch the proceedings. He's in there on D for St. Croix Central. From the 48. Brown with time. Launches over the middle. Too much. Closest guy was Poole. It'll be 2nd and 10.
A little miscommunication there on the route. Didn't have anybody going deep on that one. You had a little in cut by Stevens. Out cut by Heuser. It looked like, is that Rouse down there as the 3rd receiver? Kind of ran almost a deep in or a dig route. So maybe just a miscommunication there on first down.
Second and 10 with 10 plus remaining in regulation. Dodd's got it. Now check it, that's DJ Carter. It looked like Dodd the way he was spinning and bouncing.
He's quick, but he got a little more girth to him. He had a few more biscuits.
Wow.
And, it's good to have a big back come downhill like that.
You see the numbers. That's what St. Catherine's averages coming in. Tonight, nada so far. Both these teams explosive throughout the year. Giant first quarter and first half numbers, putting games away early. Not at State, the best against the best. You got to earn it as Carter earns the first down there.
He is
a truck.
I would not want to tackle him. He is downhill, playing with a purpose, possessed. He would not be denied for that first down.
I mean, look at that cage. That's old school face mask.
That's a serious man cage.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's a Batman villain right there, guys.
It's like Bane.
Yep.
You got to pay a little extra to have that on your helmet.
Worth it, though, if you produce.
Oh, yeah.
You look good, you play
Just
good.
the look.
1st and 10 at the 42 of St. Croix Central. Angels on the march. 9 minutes left in regulation. Carter blowing up bodies, trying to spring Brown, and Brown can't release from Keegan Berg. 2nd man in there to bring him down.
And Berg is not a slouch speed-wise either. He's a 4.6 40 kid. playing with a ton of heart, like we've said. He's making up for lost time last year. But you look at Larson out there, he is putting every ounce of his heart. He's limping. He is just, it's all heart for him in the middle here, willing himself onto the field.
No, and they had given the ball downhill a couple of times and just were hoping that they could catch him sucking in on the dive and have him keep it. I'd like to see the short out route to here. Here it comes.
2nd and 10. Brown. Catch out of bounds at the 39. Reeled in by Heuser.
He's an impressive receiver,
Yeah.
Heuser.
No,
He
he's
caught a couple in the first half down by his ankles, and not a big target, only 5'9", and Brown, that's a tough throw.
yeah, that was a long
Yeah.
out route. I'm thinking they throw that out route a lot. I'd like to see a wheel off of it.
Yep.
You know, like a double post with a wheel behind it, or a dig post with a wheel behind it.
Big play here. 3rd down and 6.
Got Rouse up top, soloed up.
Brown looking over the middle. Goes over the middle. Incomplete.
Right. I think they were
Heuser.
trying to do it, and they got collision off.
Larson got a piece of it, guys. Gimp is, I mean, look at this guy.
That's awesome. He's not real mobile. That's good stuff.
And look at him pull up. I mean, this kid is just running on fumes and on guts. And half a wheel, too.
If you're his teammate, you got to lay it all on the line for him if you see him out there in that state.
4th and 6. Angels trying to pick up the first. They need the 32-yard line. Brown squares up, fires, and incomplete.
So close.
A.Z. Stevens tried to scoop it off the rug.
It looked like he was going for Poole initially, and he sailed it. Stevens almost.
Panthers take over on downs. They lead it 7-0.
Take pride in the enthusiasm, sportsmanship, and accomplishments associated with high school sports. What lasting images and memories for one of these teams that they will tuck away forever. 7-0 Panthers. Kopaz, the quarterback, on the keeper. Good call, calling his own number there, out to the 46-yard line. And if you're the Angels, guys, this is where you worry, because this is a team that can run clock and chew clock, and you may never get it back.
Yeah, this is where you have to maybe gamble, blitz gaps like they've done a couple times, try to get some TFLs and force them into 3rd long here.
No, I'm a little concerned the frustration kind of showing on the St. Kate's kids, you know, because then all of a sudden you get out of your assignments.
Yeah, still a lot of time left and down by a touchdown. This title game's still there for the taking.
Yeah, this is exactly what their offense feeds off of. Undisciplined, missed assignments.
3rd and 1, just sliding over was Keegan Berg. Almost tripped his way to move the chains there.
Yeah, first down is going to be huge. You have to be able to get them in a second and long, second and medium. Because if you get them in a second and short, then they know we have 2 downs really guaranteed to get maybe 2 or 3 yards. So this is going to be a big play here.
And Keenan Carter got tangled up in the wash there, and he was hopping up and down. Referee asked if he wanted out. He says no. None of these kids want out. It's Kopats careens off the right side. Good gain on first down there to the 44.
He's so selective when he decides to go, he really goes. You can see why he's a 1,000-yard rusher also, you know, playing off of Larson most of the year. But, you know, his brother's a good runner too. Or Berg, I'm sorry. Berg is a really good fill-in at fullback here.
2nd and 4 for the Panthers. Go pass left side. Head went down. Ball coverage there. Primary responsibility there.
Yeah,
late in the 4th.
Yeah, no, not even a mesh there. Just he took it, let the fullback get out in front, and just
not
got as much as he could.
Not going to risk a blow up on the exchange. He's just going to follow in behind. It basically becomes quarterback power.
And you set the table here for 3rd and 2. Very manageable for St. Croix Central.
Going to pack those splits down, probably run inside veer here. Hit a little wider.
Great job.
Angels there.
Boy, those St. Kate's kids don't get knocked off the ball very far, do they?
Well, now 4th down and 2. You've got an all-state punter in Derek Meyer if you want to play the field position.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna try and draw them off sides.
I mean, they have
take the 5-yard penalty.
They have done that kind of check tempo where they get orbit to now dot the fullback or dot the I with another halfback. Now they're going to go fast and maybe catch St. Cat's sleep in here.
4th and 2, St. Croix Central. There was a jump there.
They did call it. Oh no!
Then the snap, and didn't get the first down.
How's there not a flag there? So, no.
No, and see, this is the bad part about trying to have the no play.
St.
Is then
Croix
the
Central
center
takes
snapped
over.
it, and he wasn't supposed to snap it, but you can see.
If you see that again, there has to be some movement there. That did not look right.
Nevertheless, take another look. It'll be St. Cat's football.
See, St. Kate's flinched, but they decided they did not go into the neutral zone. And then the center snapped the ball. And I don't think he was supposed to snap the ball. I think they were supposed to do the draw him off sides deal.
Well, a break for the Angels. They take over. 1st and 10 at the 42. Give it a Dodd. Had a nice head of steam, but the gap closed quickly as Peyton Nogle got in there for the wrap-up. One more leg. There's the jump.
So there's that fake orbit to try and get that check tempo, and then it was Woodington just snapped it maybe when he wasn't.
The quarterback wasn't ready.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to be a no play, and whatever reason the center snapped the ball, because I know the coach looking at his face.
I don't know, St. Cat's looked like they were in the neutral zone before here too. But
2nd down and 8. Dodd or Brown? It's still Brown.
That's the first time we've seen him ride it up in there and follow.
Looked like a midline keep himself right up the chute. Wow.
And that came really close to popping.
He'll settle for the first down at the 45-yard line. Do or die drive here for Racine St. Catherine's. Ball game on the line.
Looks like his whatever was banged up earlier is fine.
From the 45. Dodd this time gets it, and down he goes. Is that the freshman?
Yeah, that is the freshman.
The freshman, guys, who's 6'4", 255, Carson Hinsman. Freshman.
He's going to be on some radars for...
He's already on the radars.
This? What's the freshman class? What are they? He'll be on some watch lists after this.
And Dodd down on the turf for St. Catherine's. We'll take a break. 7-0 Panthers.
It's class of 22, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
Freshman class.
He's got used to, you had to know that he's got Iowa visit already.
He visited.
Through the WIAA Australia, we are awarded under by personal claim. Applicants will be in the running for the 32 St. Rapid Award. Application materials are available.
Touchdown, St. Croix Central. Seven 0 our score. The story of the game, it's a short story. Touchdown, St. Croix Central. First points of the night. Finally on the board as Keegan Berg takes it in. And that's where we stand. 4:06 to go in regulation. St. Catherine's with the football on 2nd down and 11. Dodd out, limped off. Carter back in the backfield. Brown the snap, fire, catch, Stevens. 35-yard line, right where he needed to be. Should be a first down unless they mark him shy.
The way that Carter's been running, I'm okay with him in the backfield over Dodd. Just pass protection-wise, too. Brown is really getting a groove here.
Dodd's the leading rusher. 19 carries, 79 yards. They will mark him just shy of the line to get, which is the 35. So 3rd down and a foot.
I'm going to say give it to Carter here.
Nope, Brown. First down and change. Brown inside the 20 to the 17.
Hey, he makes plays. What could you say?
Well, and that's what they've been playing off of, giving it to Carter the last couple times on the drive. Great job. Henriksen stepped down too far.
I think he just got tired of giving. It's a give read. He's sitting there.
Yeah.
It's a give read. But the great ones I used to tell him, you give unless you can get around him. Instead of if he sits, give, you start. If he sits, give. But then you start whispering, if you can get around him, it's okay to pull.
1st and 10 Angels. Movement on the Angels.
Stevens is maybe just a little early on the bottom here.
It'll cost them 5, back to the 22.
Man, that's a killer. Inside the 20.
False start. On the offense, 5 yards. Remains first down.
Dan Miller, 15 seniors on the St. Catherine's roster. He calls them a band of brothers. The mentality, the swagger, they grew up together through the youth ranks, waiting to achieve moments like this. On the big stage, trailing by a touchdown, needing the end zone late in the 4th quarter. 1st and 15.
Again. Stevens again.
Wow.
Once again, penalty flag before the snap.
I'm going to guess he's going to wait really long before he takes off this next play.
Prior to the snap, false start. On the offense, 5 yards. Remains first down.
You probably think that Brown was going to go to Stevens and that AZ was just getting a little antsy, try to get that jump, knowing the football was coming into his neighborhood. Now it's 1st and 20, back to the 26. Brown probing, marker down. Brown squares up, fires to the end zone, and incomplete. Through the hands of Hale. And again, check that, Rouse, but There were markers down while Brown was running for his life.
Could be maybe, does it look back in the holding area? It looks like on the edge, though. Maybe offsides?
That's the weird thing.
Lined up in the neutral zone potentially for the defense. But I mean, you look at the play there, great job by St. Cat's giving Brown more time to get out of the pocket, find receivers. It's hard to cover for 8 seconds if you're a St. Croix Central defense.
Still sorting this one out. Penalties have just killed the Angels on this drive. Yeah, and that's what I thought. Because the flag went down, guys, while Brown was running around, and one of the linemen couldn't hold, so that's going to...
Another killer penalty.
Man.
An eligible receiver downfield on the offense declined. Third down. Second down.
Second down is correct.
Second down and 20 yards to go.
So let's take a look here. Who would be the...
Okay. Man, I did not see anybody down.
Well, the marker...
All the linemen are up here.
Maybe Carthron, but
right there.
He's in front of the... I don't know. I didn't see anybody.
Mystery to me.
Second and 20 to 26. Reverse. Pool.
Oh, baby.
Wow.
Inside the 10, down at the 8.
Did you see that cut?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then it was almost, I thought Brown was going to hit the guy in the back, and he pulled up because he was going to clip him, and he just shook him.
That was just like an old Chris Berman. Whop!
Well, that's all you coaches making all these noises. That's
no goal.
Now, okay, we got 3rd and short.
Get Larson finishing him off there.
Nearly got the first down when it was 2nd and 20. He got 18 to make it 3rd down and 2.
Minute 25 left here.
Dodd back in there. Dodd's got it. Cut back, first down. 1st and goal, St. Catherine's.
Another great jump cut right in the backfield. Squirted his way through there. Almost coming up on a minute here. 1st and goal, Angels.
They got 2 timeouts left, so not a problem.
Unless there's penalties, Coach.
Yes.
Bite your tongue. Dodd's still a little gimpy, but he got in there to get the critical first down.
Oh, they're going with the big hammer.
Yep.
Carter.
Carter's back in there. From the 2. 1st and goal, Angels. Ball on the turf.
Now you got it.
Brown got it back. Deshaun.
Hey, just bobbled the snap.
Yep.
Took his eyes off it. Tried to make that handoff to Carter before he had the pigskin secured, and it almost cost him the football game.
Hard skip to beat there if you're Coach Miller. Got the ball back though, recovered, got a timeout, regroup with your kids.
Dan Miller calls a timeout on 2nd and goal.
The fact that Larson is still out there. I mean, on one leg, just gimping around.
10 tackles too. I mean, making a difference.
Unbelievable.
2nd and goal from the 6 is a lot different than 2nd and from the 3.
Well, and
they do have 1 timeout left, so you can run.
But this is hard from a throwing perspective. You don't have a lot of room.
Yep.
A lot of their, and you can maybe hit Hoyser on that quick out a little bit. Maybe do some picks with, like we had said, that double slant, maybe a little out route.
And this is where you get Brown in space, guys. I mean, this is where you put that athleticism on front and center stage.
Maybe some sprint out stuff where he has a choice to be able to keep it or throw it. Who knows?
See, I like that downhill run with his ability to keep and get on the edge. It doesn't look like that's what they're doing.
Carter flanked to the right of Brown on 2nd and goal. Brown keeps it, gets half of it back inside the 3. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Right into you-know-who.
Yep, we got
Larson, his 11th tackle of the game. That was loud. You could hear that up here. There's that little, it looked like almost midline, right down the chute. Keep. Boom.
3rd and goal. Brown.
Oh!
Touchdown!
Wow.
Okay, Coach, are you going for 2?
Off the left side.
Don't you? Don't you go for 2 and win the game?
They didn't have a kicker, right? They were working on kicking all week, Coach Miller said.
It's been an issue, so this will be an interesting call.
Larson's down again.
It's now 7-6.
Just 12 seconds left.
Looks like they were calling a play from the sideline before they stopped it, so guessing they're going to set up, now they got a little extra time here.
And Ryan Larson, I mean, what a warrior. You talk about literally leaving it all on the field. You saw him in the tunnel, and you saw the tape job. I'm thinking just tape him up to come and watch your teammates.
Well, and the grimace that he was showing on his face, I mean, he's a kid that's dealt with injuries a lot too.
Yeah, I want to see this replay. I don't think this was designed. You know, they didn't have a back there. The back is opposite. And I don't know if they just thought formation-wise that was going to work, but the blockers block like they think he's coming that way.
It's a big collision with.
Yeah, that's Ryan. I mean, I don't think it was the leg. I think it was just the punishment, the severity of the hit. Larson on Brown. Boy, this kid, what can you say?
Yeah, he's got a heart of a champion.
He's got tape, wrap hanging off every part of his body. He's scraping himself up off the turf. 11 tackles, 12 tackles. He's quite a player.
Watch this.
Boom. Looks like maybe a stinger or something too. Maybe got your neck
they're
back a little bit.
Taking the big back out.
Here's
they're
your
going
state,
empty.
Here's your state championship.
They're going empty.
I'm going to take Brown around the edge.
Call timeout to discuss defensively.
Timeout. Who? St. Catherine's.
St. Catherine's going to take them out.
I don't know, Coach. What are you dialing up here?
You know, I like the option of the big back in there to kind of punch inside with the ability of Brown to go to the outside.
If you're Brown, though, can you let the ball out of your hands at this point?
I think it's almost 100% sure he's not going to let it in anybody else's hands.
I would bet on that right now.
You know, just by what I saw on the touchdown run, it's gonna be in his hands.
Yeah, defensively too. If you go empty, you got to make sure you got numbers in the box, but you got to also make sure your matchups are correct on the edge, because a lot of times when you're down here, you only have room for man coverage. You're not going to zone off a lot of stuff down here. So make sure you got leverage inside to prevent a quick slant. Make sure you don't get picked maybe on any sort of double out route with an arrow or a slant off of it. And
I like the idea of put like trips left and few guys to the right and let him run right. You know, try to reduce the numbers that he has to beat to get there.
Hope you like drama, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go for the state championship. 2-point conversion try by Racine St. Catherine's.
Running left, they ain't gonna get it.
Brown in for 2, and St. Catherine's leads it 8-7.
Wow. You put the ball in the hand of your playmaker, you let him go, and the Angels, looks like they're going to win a gold ball.
Instead of Angels in the outfield, it's Angels in the end zone.
Boom, baby. Wow.
And they got in the empty set, and they went away from the trips.
You ask what Brown can do for you, he can do that.
He can deliver.
Unreal.
And trouble with the kicking game or not, you got to believe Dan Miller and Deshaun Brown and Racine St. Catherine's would have said, we're going for the victory. We're going for the state championship. When you've got a kid like this, then you can do this. A rural mutual play of the game. What else? Deshaun Brown, he took it in for 6, took it in for 2 more, and perhaps the first state championship in the first try for Racine St. Catherine's.
And if you see that Guy Van Dis,
one more time,
Left tackle, that's the key block. He seals the edge, looks like against Henriksen, allows Brown to hit the edge without any resistance, right into the end zone. Great block by 66 Guy Van Dis to be able to seal the edge.
Brown now the leading rusher in this game, 17 carries, 86 yards, but those last 3, the most important, and then the 2-point conversion. Wow. And all the college coaches just started texting and calling if they already haven't.
And it's big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and that is a big-time play.
Wow, no, overcome that second and monstrous long situation.
DJ Carter will tee it up. You know this will be hugging the field turf. Or not. At the 12. Trevor Kopaz. Down the sidelines, out of bounds with 5 seconds left.
Yeah, if you could hold it, the block, key block here, but also we got man coverage here, so he's going to run in and like block in here, which runs him out of there, and so he's just going to take it off to the edge. So go ahead and let her go. He cracks on the backer, but because they're in man coverage, he's going to follow him in.
Yeah, perfect job by Dodd to be able to crack Berg, to not let him get over the top, and then it was all number 4. Man, he must have some strong abs there too. Jeez Louise. Boom, taking shots.
You know, the empty formation dictated man coverage to the weak side. Kind of what we talked about is, you know, go away from where the folks are. So it was trips right, twins left. Great concept.
Well, and now you got to believe it's the hook and ladder, as keep the ball alive as long as you possibly can if you're St. Croix Central.
Yep. Play back and just keep everything in front of you.
And guys, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a table down there on the
to the back on the return team. That'll be half the distance.
Oh boy.
From the flag. Also have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on the bench. That'll be another half of the distance.
All right. We're going backwards is what it all equates to, but there's a statue, guys, on the Racine St. Catherine's behind their bench. Big white statue. It might be St. Catherine herself, but whatever it takes, you know, there you go.
There it is.
Little divine intervention, whatever it takes. Your first time at state, you pull out all the stops.
Mary, Queen of Victory, pray for us.
Sure. 8-yard line, St. Croix Central, last gasp in the end zone. Kopats throws it backwards. One of the linemen has it, another one has it. He goes down. That's the ball game. The Angels are state champions. First try, they bring home the gold.
Fantastic job of staying the course, staying together. Brown making plays, Poole with the big reverse. Unbelievable elation for Coach Miller. Congrats to the Angels.
Crazy game, crazy.
And you knew that last drive when Dan Miller's guys got it and they sputtered downfield. It wasn't always big chunks. In fact, they were down to the 16, had back-to-back penalties. They were going backwards. And then the decision was made.
Yeah,
put it in the hands of number 4.
Yeah, the reverse was a huge play to get him back into manageable situations. But, you know, very impressed with Deshaun Brown.
And it's cool to see. I saw Coach Miller looking around. I think he mouthed, "I can't believe it." Very cool to see for that program, for him being there 15 years.
Well,
awesome.
And he went through some really lean years at the beginning, and you know the realignment down in that southeastern part of the state gave them new life and put them in a better league situation, and they've been really good the last few years since they've gone into that league.
And guys, we mentioned the relationship between Deshaun Brown and Dan Miller. Dan Miller knew Deshaun since 6th grade. He saw this kid. Deshaun went to Racine Case, wasn't seeing the football field. Talked to Dan Miller. Dan said, come to Racine St. Catherine's. He had 2 quarterbacks that were vying for the job at the time, but when he got Deshaun Brown in, he had to go to those 2 young men and say, look, we need this kid. He's special. We need you guys to buy in, and they did. And Deshaun Brown's first pass in high school at St. Catherine's was to the kid who was one of the quarterbacks. He completed for a touchdown because he shifted to wide receiver. That was the beginning. The end of number 4's career is here at Camp Randall in an 8-7 thriller.
Can't deny it with ending it that way, and I'm sure whoever that old quarterback was, seeing what number 4 Deshaun Brown can do with the ball in his hands, it's a no-brainer.
Down to the field we go. Piper Shaw with guess who?
You guys, I've got number 4, Deshaun Brown from St. Kate's, and this has been an absolutely crazy game up until the last couple minutes here. What has playing throughout this game been like for you tonight?
This game was a tough game for me. It was a crazy game for me. That's a great defense over there that I had to play against today. They came with everything they had, and we came with everything we had, and we came out on top with 1 point, and that's all that matters, and I'm proud of my team, man.
Absolutely, and this is your first state title. That's got to feel amazing. How you feel?
I feel like we made history, you know. I feel like we made history the last game, making it here. I feel like we made a legendary movement in winning this game. This is a legendary movement. This is a legendary team right here. I love my team, man, and it's just crazy, man. I'm feeling great.
Can you take me through that last touchdown there?
The last touchdown, it was me and number 32, and it was who was going to fall forward or who was going to fall backward, and I fell forward and I got in the end zone, and I was just too excited. But the next play is really what I had my mind on, and that was that 2-point conversion. And, we came out there, we called a timeout so we can read what defense they would come out in so we can call our play based on their defense, and that's exactly what we did. I seen a weak side on the left side, and, I told my coach, I think it's time. I take initiative and run left. I think I'll take the ball.
Amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll send it now to break. I'm sorry, I don't know why.
Congratulations to the St. Croix Central Panthers, this year's Division 4 runners-up. And now will the captains of the Division 4 championship team, the St. Catherine And now will head coach Dan Miller of Racine St. Catherine's please step forward to receive their championship trophy. Congratulations to Racine St. Catherine, this year's Division 4 state champion. Once again, congratulations to all St. Croix Central who represented Racine St. Catherine as victors. A hard-fought game, both teams had an excellent season. The Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association has enjoyed having you in today's game, and we look forward
Welcome to Miller time. Yeah, douse your coach with the beverage of your choice. Dan Miller, 15 years in the making. Head coach at Racine St. Catherine's. That shower feels good, even on a cold Thursday evening in Wisconsin. State champions in their first ever trip. What a day. We cap it off with all that drama in an 8-7 game. We started it off this morning with Sunshine and Blackhawk knocking off Edgar in a battle of unbeatens. Iola Scandinavia, impressive, rolling over Racine Luther. St. Mary's Springs wins their 8th WIAA title in a true tug of war with the Stratford Tigers. And you just saw it, Racine St. Catherine's with seconds to spare. They win the title, 8-7 over St. Croix Central. Ryan, your final thoughts on this instant classic?
Yeah, what a way to end the first day of the state tournament. You saw, to start the day, Blackhawk took advantage of maybe some Edgar mistakes. To end the day, you saw Racine St. Catherine be able to finish off and take advantage of a couple advantageous field position plays at the end there. Great start, great ending. Cannot wait for day 2.
Al?
Yeah, same thing. Blackhawk Edgar game, great game to start out the day. Iola Scandinavia, awesome, flawless game plan really and game. Bob Highland and Springs racking up another state championship, and then this, like you said, an instant classic. We're kind of Cinderella. Racine St. Catherine's finds a way at the very end. Awesome day of football. Can't wait for tomorrow. We got 3 big schools. You're going to see some big hitting tomorrow.
Yeah, I need a break though, guys. I need to sleep and just, dial it down a little bit. But yeah, look at these games on tap beginning at 10 a.m. tomorrow. D3 title tilt, West Appear and Catholic Memorial. D2, what a game that shapes up to be between Homestead and Brookfield Central. And then Kimberly going for another state title, but they'll get a tough test against unbeaten Muskego, who won the Classic 8. It all starts back here on Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow at 10 a.m. Picture perfect finish for the guys in black and gold. The Racine St. Catherine's Angels, state champs. First try, that's all they needed to bring home the hardware. For Ryan and Al and our entire crew here in Madison, Bob Raynard saying so long from Cam Randall. Once again, the final score in the D4 title matchup. Racine St. Catherine's 8, St. Croix Central 7 in Division 4. More football tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The preceding has been a presentation of Rush Media and Fox Sports Wisconsin. Good night, Wisconsin.